This is straight from the heart of a coaching session. And I've spent about 6 to 8 weeks working with this guy whose main problem was he's lost his intensity and focus. And the more we've dug into it, it's because he's not making the decision he needs to make. He kind of knows there's a direction he wants to travel in, but he can't identify what the right option for him is. In fact, he's got so many options in front of him, it seems kind of overwhelming. And also, like I spoke about yesterday, he's one of the guys that has thrived in this underdog mentality. The underdog mentality has got him to where he is now. It's really worked. But now he's trapped between two identities. One is what's got him to here now, that good level of success. In fact, a level of success that he didn't really guess he'd get to. But he misses that drive. He misses that singular purpose that comes from being under pressure, being forced to act, and really having to make this work. The second identity, he doesn't actually know what it is yet. He knows that it's having this craft that he goes all in on. He knows that it's an evolution. He knows that it's development, it's change, it's growth. But it's really uncertain. And he's got a more considerable business now to take him in the direction he needs to go in. So it matters more. He's got so many options in front of him and he doesn't know which to choose from. He's also got his family's financial security on the line now. This is big. It matters. So he talked me through these options, probably for the third or fourth time. And one of them, I just noticed his pupil slightly dilate, which to me is a trigger because I'm watching body language when I work with people. And his tone of voice changed. His body language as such didn't change because he was standing, but his tone of voice changed. I can't exactly express how it changed, but I noticed a fluctuation. And there was this hint of sadness in his voice too. It was a sadness covering excitement though, like a lower level of him still believed, but this more surface-facing level, like for some reason didn't believe he could have it, didn't believe it could happen. So I ran him through these questions that probably to you, if you haven't worked with me before, are going to sound a little bit hippy-dippy. But they're actually rooted in pretty good neuroscience, but also just common sense too, and your own personal experience. So before I get to those questions, it's not even neuroscience really. Well, I suppose it is technically, but it's not deep stuff. It's just a few basic facts. So first of all, neurons are brain cells. And most types of neuron, they help communicate information. And they're called like brain cells, neurons, because they're found in the brain, kind of obviously. Except for they're not just found in the brain, they've been found elsewhere. And it turns out we've got roughly 40,000 neurons in our hearts. And we've got a few million in our gut. And of course, that kind of pales into significance when you compare that to the billions that are contained in your skull. But it does beg the question, what do we really mean when we say trusting my gut or going with my heart? Maybe there's something to it. Maybe we have these sayings for a reason. And I view these questions and the answers that we may get from them as nothing more than another data point to add to the rational thinking-based data points that we spend so much of our energy and time focused on. It's like we can learn to triangulate a position instead of just having one specific data point. So I ran this guy through these big moments in his life, those moments where it really changed who he was or was significant. And I asked him a bit about how he made those decisions and also how they worked out. I said things like, how did you decide to leave the country you were born in? What told you to open your business? When and what was happening when you decided to propose to your wife? How comes you gave up on professional sport? What was happening? What decisions have you regretted and what made them for you? How did you come to those? And the pattern was really clear. The times he made poor decisions, he was overthinking and almost trying to compute the right answer. He was trying to get to certainty, trying to get to safety. The times when he made great decisions, though, he just trusted his gut. It felt terrifying, but he trusted his gut. And it was a clear pattern, a clear rule of thumb. And actually the science too suggests that if you're successful, if you've done this before, following this pattern of decision making, and you have proof that trusting your gut works, it's actually a strategy you can focus on. It's actually a strategy you can use, and it's reliable. So when we ran through his options again, each time I just asked him what his gut said, or at least that's what I was going to do until I was halfway through the question. He just stopped me. It was like, the first option is the one I need to do. I know this is the right thing to me. My gut, my intuition says so. And the science on intuition is really strong too, especially with some new papers that have come out recently. And I'm not saying believe in wishful thinking at all. I'm not saying just always trust your gut. But I am saying stagnation and indecision are essentially death to the ambitious. Your business, if you run one, relies on growth. Stagnation is not an option. And I'm also saying you probably already know the answer, but fear is getting in the way.